Hello, everybody. This is Reverend Bridge at the Georgetown Circuit, and this is
Jose. How y'all doing?
this is Jose Maynor, my ex-husband. So we are going to come into the camera a little bit. I'm not gonna bite you.
No.
He thinks I'm a bite. I'm not. I'm not gonna bite. So we are going to do a segment on forgiveness. So I started a relationship series that was titled Mojo and the Minister, but God had given me a different direction when it came to some other topics. So I figured who better to help me with the forgiveness piece than my ex-husband, since we've both been in a position of having to forgive one another. So we posted pictures yesterday. I posted pictures of he and I here at the church. We're at Shady Grove AME Church in Georgetown, Georgia. And my dear ex-husband came to help with some repairs that needed to be done here at our church. So I am very thankful for him for doing that, for coming, and it is Father's Day. So, some people messaged him wanting to know who I was, and some people messaged me wanting to know if we were back together. So we are setting the record straight, and we're hoping that people who need to reconcile some relationships will hopefully, hear something from the Most High in what we're going to share today. So no, we are not back together. For those of you who wanted to know if we were getting back together, we are finally at a point where we are truly friends. It took us a long time to get here because when we were married, I don't want everybody to think that we had a very bad marriage. It was not. We had our trials just as any other marriage has, but it did take us many years to get to a place of forgiveness and, get to a place where I think we're at equilibrium, don't you? Yeah. We're at equilibrium where, if he meets somebody and starts dating, I would love to meet her because we share a son. And when I was dating someone, he met the person that I was dating. And, this was somebody that I was considering marrying. So, I wanted this person to know my ex-husband because that's my son's father. And, like they do in the movies, just be one big happy family. Okay. So we're going to talk about how do we get here? We're not following any script. Okay. We are just sharing because it took me a while to forgive him, and I'm sure I did things and he had to get to a place of forgiving me. So let's just talk about what went wrong in the marriage. I got to say, though, when I first met him, I was like, ooh, I got to get that little chocolate bunny right there.
Rule number one, don't do that.
Exactly.
Get to know your people first.
Oh, whatever. You making my face turn red. But no, we met and we dated and we got married. And I'll say this, Jose was very young when we got married. There's an 11-year difference between us. I'm 11 years older than him. So
yes, I'm 40.
I'm 51.
So y'all ain't got to do the math. You already know what it is.
Okay. So he was 26 years old when we got married. And I do commend him for stepping up and, being a man of his word and doing the honorable thing. Because I wasn't a minister then. He said, hey, we need to get married. So we did. But, as most young men, when they're in their 20s.
It's not fun. It's fun, but it's not fun.
He cheated.
I did. I was young. It's not an excuse, though. But,
right.
I wasn't I guess when I thought about marriage, I thought about marriage because of the situation with our son. That wasn't a smart thing to do. I learned a lot about myself, and if you can't learn anything about yourself in a relationship or marriage, you're kind of wasting each other's time. Yes, I did cheat. I lied. I did things that I probably wouldn't have appreciated her doing to me or other people doing to me. Again, I was going through some things, but again, that's no excuse on what happened. But yes, Bridget did some things to me that bothered me and hurt me a lot. Some things I'm actually still dealing with today. But if at any point in time you want to grow to be an adult, you got to learn to let some things go. So I could have lived the past, 13 years just being mad for everything, but sometimes you got to take responsibility for yourself. You can't always be mad at somebody for something that they might have not even understood what they were doing. And I know Bridget was still growing. I was still growing. I was young relatively at that time. She was still young, so it was a learning process for both of us.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the infidelity part, of course, was hurtful because, I caught him. And, I've always been the type, if you are doing something or if you want to do something, I'm very open minded. Just tell me that you want to do something. And so it was like an insult to my intelligence that he lied when I caught him cheating. It's like when you got black sexes showing up as a name on the cell phone. Whatever.
Let me tell you something. Back in the day, you can call a phone company and have whatever name you wanted put on your caller ID tag. So if I want to call and say sexual chocolate and it ring up on somebody else's phone, they did that back then. So I couldn't control what popped up on my call ID. Sorry,
Yeah, I ain't never been able to call Verizon and tell them I want my screen name, my legal name changed to Black Sexa or Caramel Sexa, okay?
It was honey bun. It wasn't no caramel nothing.
Anyway, you see he's still sticking to it and he didn't do it. But anyway.
I didn't program it in there like that.
Yeah, okay.
First of all, we was married. That would have been stupid. That would have been dumb. But okay. I did some dumb things now. Dumb things. So.
Right. But the thing is, it's like, we got to a point in the marriage where we decided that we don't need to be together. God gives you the out with the marriage when there's infidelity. So we had the out as far as that was concerned. But it wasn't the first time. I mean, there were a couple of episodes, wasn't there? Yeah, it was a couple of episodes of infidelity where I forgave him the first time, but then it got to a point where I was like, okay, I can't keep doing this, because my whole thing was, okay, if you don't want to be with me, then, let's go. And like I said, we were both growing, and I knew that I was preparing to get ready to go into ministry. And I was trying to get my mind straight, but at the time I think we had been separated about 2 or 3 years, when I met somebody, and, like they say, out of sight, out of mind. At that point, I mean, we were living separate lives. He was with somebody. That was the first person that I dated. And I fell hard. I really fell in love with this person, and it was just a major disaster. And I truly believe that it was a major disaster because I had not properly ended our marriage. And because you can't go and move forward with something new with somebody else when you still have ties with your spouse, because I don't care how you look at it, that's adultery. You're still married. So, we both had to repent of the things that we had done wrong. And of course, now, me pastoring a church, I'm sharing this not because, I'm trying to make him feel bad or I'm trying to feel bad. We're just hoping that somebody will learn from what we went through, the mistakes we made in our marriage. Because like I tell people all the time, I'm a piece of glass at this point. I mean, what you see with me is what you get. I truly try to spread joy, light, positivity into the world. So if there was something that was hurtful or painful from my past, I want to utilize that to help somebody else grow and get through their situation. So no, it was not easy. I think there was a period of time we probably didn't even like each other. Yeah.
I know I cried a lot.
Yeah, you were always a crier.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, he was always the one crying at the movies, okay? The mushy movies. I was more the hard.
Oh, buck up, Bart. Okay,
I was the hardcore when I was. Yeah.
But with all that said, at the end of the day, people, I know the topic is
forgiveness.
Okay.
Yep. Forgiveness.
Now, I'm going to say this. What I've learned, like I said, when you're in a marriage, when you're in a lot of situations, if you can't step back and view yourself in that situation, you're doing something wrong. Also, with forgiveness comes resolution. You can't forgive anybody unless there's resolution. You can't quite start to forgive unless you know what you're forgiving. So